Single dad janitor was asked to dance by a disabled girl, unaware her billionaire mom was watching. Ethan Cooper had long learned that life didn't wait for anyone. As a single father and a janitor at an upscale event hall in New York City, he had become an expert at pushing through exhaustion, scrubbing away the weight of his troubles just as he scrubbed marble floors until they shone. Every night, while guests in glittering gowns danced under crystal chandeliers, Ethan quietly moved in the background, unseen, his hands rough from work but his heart soft from love, the love he carried for his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. On this particular evening, Ethan was finishing his shift at a lavish charity gala. The music was soft, elegant, the kind of tunes that made people smile without knowing why. His mind wandered to Lily, waiting at home with a neighbor, probably curled up with her stuffed bunny, asking when Daddy would be back. He was gathering empty glasses when he noticed a little girl sitting alone near the edge of the ballroom. She had delicate features, bright curious eyes, and a small wheelchair that seemed far too big for her tiny frame. Ethan glanced around. There were dozens of people dancing, laughing, sipping champagne. But no one seemed to notice the little girl sitting quietly, her hands folded in her lap as if waiting for someone who hadn't arrived. Something about the loneliness in her eyes tugged at him. As he passed by, he heard her whisper, almost too softly, "I wish I could dance." Ethan froze. The words weren't meant for him, but they pierced straight into his heart. Without thinking, he turned to her and knelt down so they were eye level. "Hey," he said gently, offering a kind smile. "I'm not much of a dancer, but if you don't mind a janitor with 2 left feet, I'd love to give it a try." Her face lit up like Christmas morning. "Really?" She breathed, disbelief and joy mingling in her voice. "Really," he said, holding out his hand. Carefully, he pushed her wheelchair to the center of the dance floor. The music swelled around them, and with a playful grin, Ethan twirled her chair in time to the melody. He spun, dipped, and even did a goofy little shuffle that made her giggle so hard she could barely breathe. The ballroom around them blurred away, no judgmental stares, no pitying looks, just laughter, music, and a moment that belonged entirely to them. What Ethan didn't know was that, across the room, a woman in a shimmering silver gown had frozen mid-step. She watched them, her champagne glass forgotten in her hand, her eyes wide with surprise and something deeper, something emotional. This woman was Olivia Hayes, the billionaire philanthropist hosting the gala, and the mother of the little girl now laughing freely in Ethan's company. For years, Olivia had showered her daughter, Emily, with everything money could buy, except one thing, normal moments of pure, unfiltered joy. Most people avoided dancing with Emily, afraid of her wheelchair, afraid of saying the wrong thing. Yet here was a janitor, a stranger, who didn't see a disability, only a little girl who deserved to dance. The music slowed to an end, and Emily clapped her hands, cheeks flushed with happiness. "That was amazing," she squealed. Ethan chuckled, bowing dramatically. "Thank you for the dance, princess. Best partner I've ever had." Emily's smile was brighter than the chandelier above them, but before Ethan could slip away, a soft voice behind him spoke. "Wait." He turned to see Olivia Hayes herself standing there, elegant yet approachable, her eyes glistening with tears. I saw what you did," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "Most people don't take the time. You have no idea what that meant to her, to me." Ethan rubbed the back of his neck, embarrassed. "I just saw a little girl who deserved to dance. That's all." But Olivia shook her head slowly, her gaze fixed on him with a newfound respect. "That's not all. That's kindness. And it's rarer than you think." She paused, glancing at Emily, who still wore a wide grin, and then back at Ethan. "I'd like to know more about the man who made my daughter's night unforgettable." Over the next few weeks, Olivia learned about Ethan's life, the struggles of raising Lily alone, the long hours, the quiet sacrifices he made daily just to keep a roof over their heads. One evening, Olivia showed up at his modest apartment with Emily and an unexpected offer, a job managing community outreach programs for her foundation, complete with better pay, flexible hours, and full benefits. Tears stung Ethan's eyes as he tried to speak, but Olivia simply smiled and said, "You gave my daughter a gift that no amount of money ever could. Let me help you give Lily the life you've dreamed of." Months later, Ethan stood in a sunlit park watching Lily and Emily laughing together as they ran, one on her feet, the other in her wheelchair, neither slowed down by the world's judgments. For the first time in years, Ethan allowed himself to breathe deeply, hope swelling in his chest. Sometimes, life's biggest blessings come from the smallest acts of kindness. One dance. One moment of seeing someone's heart instead of their circumstances. And sometimes, those moments ripple out, changing lives in ways you never imagined.